Hello, beautiful community of light. Thanks for tuning in. It's Regan here. I just want to give a few messages on my heart today and some energy updates for the month of December, which is a very, very, very powerful month, and I'm sure we're all feeling it. So, where to begin? Just going to dive right in. There's a lot of interesting shifts this month. We have these eclipses. We just had one on the 30th, and we have another solar eclipse on the 12th in about a week, so we're kind of right in the middle of it, and you can really feel that because the eclipses really bring in even more light, and that's really what's happening on this planet right now. From what I see is from the sun as well, new high vibrations of light and cosmic rays are coming upon this planet that haven't been for at least thousands of years. So nothing's a coincidence. We're all these things happening in the political stage or in any of these stages on the world. None of it's a coincidence. And even the things you're going through and the things you're feeling and the things you're working on, none of it's a coincidence. And I feel like we're really going to have a lot of amazing opportunities this month for some real spiritual shifts and some spiritual awakenings, and more than anything, really raising and expanding our consciousness, and that really is the core of everything. That really is the most, I feel, amazing work we can do, because not only does that, in the most powerful way, help us to be more sovereign, to be more empowered, to be more free, to be more happy, to be more successful, and so on. All these higher vibrational qualities that we are all worthy of, that, many of us have been having to really, in a way, work at, as we are going through all of these lessons and shining light upon all this darkness. So not only does it, make your whole experience of your reality better and better and better as you keep moving forward, but it also naturally helps others because it raises the collective consciousness, the vibration, and it also helps you to feel more impulses in how you can actually help to inspire and uplift all those around you, which is a big part of the work we came here to do. Because if you're watching this and you resonate with this, it's no doubt that you are what people call a light worker, a healer, a messenger, a way shower, a channeler, a light warrior, whatever you want to call it. All these things that we really came here to help shift this planet, to help wake people up, to help just be a source of light in these changing times, in these prophetic times, in these revelations, in this apocalypse, in this whatever you want to call it. The end of this paradigm and the beginning of a completely new paradigm based in way higher consciousness. And nothing can stop this. Nothing can stop the Great Awakening. Nothing can stop the Ascension timeline. If that's your choice to participate in and experience, then it will be so. And the reason I say that is just because I think it's important to really be able to remind yourself that and anchor into that. God wins, love wins, even as we're navigating these shifts, it's natural for these emotions to come up, these emotions of fear or doubt or anger or sadness or worry or, concern. A lot of light workers are feeling these emotions right now because, these are interesting times. And all this darkness has to continue to come to the surface. And every single time those darker emotions come into you, it is an opportunity to shift and to raise your consciousness. That's really what it is. And the more you remember that and remind yourself that, and, work on your own techniques, which I will be giving one in this video I've talked about before, of consciously transmuting those emotions when they come to you, or those thoughts when they come to you in the present now moment, the more you can literally use that to keep shifting consciousness. So it helps you to see that when you're an awakened spiritual being and you understand these things, we no longer have to fear the fear. We no longer have to fear these lower vibrations, whether we're seeing them in someone else or whether they're coming into our field to be processed and transmuted. That's part of, I think, what really has been, prolonging a lot of these lower vibrations is people trying to resist them or fight them or suppress them or ignore them. When in my experience, at least, I've truly come to find that the best thing you can do when these emotions come to you is really just feel them 100% with no resistance. It's just an emotion. Just feel that fear, just feel that anger, just feel whatever it is. Sit down and just feel it for all it is. And you'll be surprised that if you just feel it and breathe and keep feeling into it and let it go, if you completely can just let go and surrender to that emotion, it really can take just a few minutes to just keep breathing through that emotion, and you'll find that we're getting way, way, way more powerful than ever. So we really can do that, and I really do call that transmutation, when you can just feel that and then let it go. And speaking of shifting, shifting consciousness, raising consciousness. Some people call this quantum jumping, because you're literally jumping timelines, because there's infinite timelines when we're always, choosing, whether we realize it or not, our experience, our reality, our timeline. So just as a quick, I guess, technique that I was talking about, that's really, to make it really is this simple, and it really does take practice. The more you do it, it's just like riding a bike or, playing an instrument or learning anything you've learned since you were a baby. It's just, you got to practice it, and the more you practice it, the more it's natural. In the same way you can drive your car to the store, you can begin to transmute these emotions when they come to you. And it's so empowering. These abstract energy work techniques, the one I'm talking about, and you'll find your own, or you'll find someone else who inspires you. But ultimately, if you keep channeling to your source, the creator, in your heart center, going into your heart and meditating upon that and asking for guidance, that it will always guide you to your unique, individual, best practices and techniques, however it may come. So speaking of this transmutation, I feel like this will be really, really helpful this month, because it really is an amazing, this month is full of opportunities. I really feel that, and it's full of amazing, powerful leaps of consciousness for those who tap in. And it's important work, because it feels like this month really is going to be a portal month in a way. I think next year, 2021, we're going to see a lot of actual change that we've been waiting for actually happening in the physical world, in the matrix. I really feel that. I've felt that for a long time. But this month really is a portal, and it is going to be a beautiful, powerful month that just keeps getting better and better. For me at least, I see that the world stage is like falling apart, it would seem, which it has to. This whole matrix is going to fall, all these corporations, all these shadows, all these things. And yet it seems, the more I work on my individual life and keep just being in my heart center and sending love to myself and to all my relationships and to all my goals, all my dreams, all these sorts of things, it's like my individual life is like coming together more than ever. And I've been able to really shift a lot of things that I would call blockages in my life, things I've been working on for years and slowly progressing. It's like this month has been like, I've been making huge leaps, and I think a lot of people are feeling that life has been turned up several notches just this month alone with these eclipses, So this technique I'm speaking of, I've talked about it before, it's very easy. It's really just about a 3-step process. Is one, when the emotion comes to you, you know what I'm talking about. We all feel it. It doesn't matter how far in your spiritual journey you're on. We're still being initiated, and we're contributing to the collective consciousness in the best way we can, even if we can't see it yet. The energy is everything. All of the physical world is coming from the energy, again, individually and collectively, the micro and the macro, as above so below, things like this. The more you can truly transform your personal reality, the more you really will see it reflected back at you. And I think this is really some of the work we're being called to do, especially this month. So when you feel these feelings, and it could, again, be anything. It could just come to you. Something could have triggered you. You could have seen something. You could have heard something. It could be anything. Sometimes you just wake up and it happens. There's nothing wrong with it. These are times when you really, I feel like it's important to practice radical responsibility and radical compassion. Radical responsibility for yourself, your energy, everything that is in your field, your thoughts, your feelings, because even though it's hard sometimes to take responsibility for the more, nasty things maybe that you see or feel, the more you can do that, the more you can truly claim back more sovereignty, and you can actually change it, And compassion is really important too for yourself again, and for others, You don't need to make such judgments, There's nothing wrong with you because you're feeling anger or sadness or fear. These are natural things, and like the technique I'm giving you now is just one way that you can, not get hung up by it anymore. It really, all these things are catalysts. They really are just opportunities to shift, and that's always the outcome. But now we're getting to the point where you don't have to wait, days for this. You can do this in a very short period of time the more you practice. So anyways, as I was saying, the first step then is to notice it, to observe it. Don't make any judgment, just really observe. What am I feeling? I'm feeling doubt, I'm feeling like maybe this isn't going to work. I'm feeling like maybe people won't wake up, or I'm feeling like maybe I can't do the things I want to do. That doubt is tricky. Doubt, it seems to be a big thing that's coming to the surface right now for a lot of people. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. We're clearing this, we're alchemizing it. It's literally what we're doing here. So say you start to feel that, and you know how that feels. You know how that doubt feels. It feels like separation. It feels like, fear. It kind of feels like disappointment. It's like, it's a lower vibration. So when you notice it, and you will notice it, you know what I mean? You'll notice it starts when it starts to come into your field again, whether it just happens or whether something starts to trigger it, or usually something in the external world triggers it, whether we realize it or not. So feel it. So step 1, observe it, notice it. 2, feel it. Like I was saying, just feel it, just completely feel it. And it'll be painful, but it really will pass. If you just go into it and you just feel it and you keep breathing, it really will pass faster than you may believe. That's what I've noticed. It's alchemy. Just feel it. Go into your heart and just feel that doubt, And literally as you breathe, it's almost like a balloon that's like letting go of air. It's like this cloud of doubt just as you breathe into it, it starts to dissipate. So that's the second thing, is just feel it completely, and it has to do with surrendering to this now moment. Completely surrendering to what is in this now moment. I'm feeling this and it's okay, Just let it be, because it really is what it is, It's hard to jump timelines and to shift your energy if you're resisting what is. You got to completely let go and surrender. It's a paradox, because your ego has to let go completely, because your ego wants to try to control it, and the ego cannot control it. It cannot control it. But when the ego can let go and completely surrender, that's when your soul takes over again, and your soul actually can control it in a completely different way. But your soul is really where the power is. So it seems like a paradox there, but it's, I think it makes a lot of sense. So, that's the second step, feeling it, surrendering to your now moment, and just letting it be, whatever it is, even if it's uncomfortable or sad or angry, just let it be. Just let it be, whatever it is. Just be okay with it being how it is. And then the last step, 3. So again, observe it, feel it. 3, this is when you actually can jump timelines. And you really can do this. You really can do this in a very real way. And it's something you may have to experiment on if you think that maybe it sounds a little bit crazy. So the third step is when you can actually start to, once you're surrendered to your now moment and you don't have any more of this resistance, and you're just kind of in this calm peace of the present moment of acceptance. Start to visualize what you want. Start to visualize the timeline that exists that is already what you want in this now moment, if that makes sense. So, if we're talking about doubt, start to visualize yourself being full of faith. Visualize, whatever, if it's, feeling doubt about the world situation, visualize yourself awaken. Visualize, the people around you waking up. Visualize everything being revealed. Visualize the celebrations that will take place once we complete this mission, which we will 100%. And that's just one example. You can do this in your personal life. Visualize yourself being successful. Visualize yourself publishing a book. Visualize yourself, being healthy. Whatever it may be, visualize yourself being really abundant and wealthy. You can do this. Visualize that. Just imagine it. You got to learn how to use your imagination in these times. It's very important. It really is a blessed tool that we were given. And a lot of times our imagination is used for visualizing our worst fears and all these terrible timelines, but learn how to use your imagination to visualize the timelines you consciously want and will. So once you start to get a clear vision in your mind's eye of what you want, start to connect to it in your heart. And it's very easy, it's very simple. Just feel it. Just feel it. So the mind's created it. Your mind can start to see this timeline where, I feel faith, I feel safe, I feel worthy, I feel, excited about this grand awakening. I feel, feel that gratitude, feel that happiness, feel that, because the feeling is actually, in a way, the most important part, because once you visualize it in your head, that's great, but the feeling, the more you can cultivate, and it takes practice, but the more you can, like, by your own will, like a knob, turn up your emotions, turn up your emotional vibration to gratitude, to joy, to excitement, to happiness, to bliss. You can really do this. And once those are connected and you can hold that vision in your mind's eye while feeling these high vibrations, it's a very powerful experience the more you do it. So that's the third step. And then I guess there's one more step. The last step would be after you've visualized it and you've anchored it in with your emotions, then you can just let it go. And what I mean by let it go is, in a way, trust that this is how the universe works. Trust that you're on your way to that timeline. And, I don't know, it depends on how much you've experienced this. But again, it's just something, the more you practice, the more you understand how this universe works, especially in these times, because this is accelerating. I really encourage you to try this, especially if you haven't before. And, maybe even start small, if you feel like that's easier for you. Or you can start big. Do whatever your heart feels called. But you really can do this. So just to go back to that again, it's 1, observe it. 2, feel it. 3, visualize the timeline you want to be on and feel it. And then 4, let it go and have faith that it's coming to you. That's really all you have to do. And the last thing I want to say on that is because there is no separation between you and God. There is no separation between you and your creator. There is no separation between you and your source of everything. Your source of all inspiration and love and knowledge and wisdom and abundance and creativity. Nikola Tesla even talked about this himself. That's really important to even understand and meditate on, is just feeling that your creator is literally right there with you, so strong all the time that you don't even notice, in a way. That's really getting to the core of all of this fear and all of this stuff that the human race has been going through, is this illusion of separation, because never ever ever could we truly be separate from our creator. But this illusion, this manipulation that has been put upon this planet, this is really the core of the mind control, that somehow, God abandoned us, or we're separate from our creator, That really is a belief that when you really heal that illusion of separation, that's when you really start to know how powerful you really are as a living being. That's when the matrix can no longer, get at you, because you know that the Almighty is literally right there in you, right there in your heart, listening to you, that loves you, that wants to give you all of these gifts freely, eternally. This is our divine birthright. I'm so serious. This is something I've been finding more and more about, meditating upon healing this separation between, me and the creator, you and the creator. We were divinely created with purpose and love, and we really are infinitely cherished and forgiven and loved this source that created us, I'm so serious, loves us so much. The more we can open our heart and actually receive this love and give this love to our direct source of life, it's so powerful. It really is so powerful. We really have everything we need, The problem with believing we're separate, it's not that, we're being punished by our source. It's not like that at all. In a way, it's more like, again, this experiment that's been playing out of this separation and really, in a way, this manipulation, this nefarious force that in a way, slowly over thousands of years has really manipulated us out of being able to understand that connection to who we really are and our real origins and our real power. Again, this is literally how you claim so much power into your reality. You are not separate from your creator. I really invite you to meditate upon that and feel that and to talk and communicate to your creator, to God, to your source of everything you need. Literally. That's what the illusion of separation, that's one of the problems, is it makes us think we're not worthy of this love. Or there's just so many dogmas, and religion really hasn't helped these dogmas. It seems to only have added to it, of feeling like we're being punished, or we're not worthy, or we're, unable, or we're incapable, or we're just random. Like all these lies. I could make a whole video about this in itself. That's part of our work, is to really let that go. These attachments are like anchors. Imagine these attachments we have to these belief systems that are no longer serving us and actually holding us back, these beliefs that we're not good enough, that we're not able, that we're not strong enough, that we can't actually change our life, that we can't change our reality. These are dogmas that it's time for us to let go, and that's exactly what I mean, It's exactly what I mean. And even that in itself, if you're feeling that's a timeline you can jump. These internal ones are really the strongest. If you're feeling like you're not good enough, start to visualize yourself knowing you're good enough, and it will be. We are that powerful. And again, when you connect to your source and you realize it's all around you all the time, there's literally no separation. The more you can know that and hold that vibration, it's a high vibration, the more you will truly see in every now moment how blessed you are, how much you can really change your whole reality. Words can't even describe it. I'm trying my best, but I hope you can feel just like in your heart, like the power of this kind of revelation, and it's something I've known for a long time, but I continue to learn deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's one of my goals this whole month, is just really getting in touch on a deeper level than ever with the creator. That's how these high beings of light, I feel like that's a characteristic of like high beings of light, like angels, are so, they're not in this amnesia. They're so connected to their creator, because the creator has gifted you with what, in a way, it is. In a way, the creator has gifted you with eternal life and light and free will. We really are eternal, and there's nothing to fear at all. We are sovereign, we are powerful, we literally have God within us, that the more you awaken it, the more you activate it, the more you find you truly are invincible, and you truly have the freedom and the worthiness and the capability and everything you need to experience everything your heart desires. All the love, all the joy, all the success, all the harmony, all the abundance, all the inspiration, all the upliftment. It's all in us. Everything we need is within us. We have to remind ourselves that sometimes, because this is the matrix, and all these illusions are still getting louder and louder. And we've known this. I've talked about it before. All these illusions are going to just get louder and louder until they completely fall. And ultimately, it's just helping more and more people to wake up. So don't be, phased by that. Don't, when you find yourself, and this is, a message to me as well, when you find yourself getting too sucked into any kind of drama in the external world, come back to your source. Go throughout your day, even if it's just 2 seconds, even in just 2 seconds, you connect with your creator and you realize, wow, I am so loved. I am so protected. I am so free. I am so inspired. I am so empowered to create and to change, the situations in my life for the better. And again, the last thing I'll say on that is that's what your source, that's what God, this unconditional being of intelligent love and life force, wants. It's a matter of us being able to open up and allow ourselves to believe and receive. That's our work. That's really what we came here to do. And that's, a beautiful experience, really, when you feel it and you look at it, of just uncovering all these, letting go of all these blockages, shining light upon all these little dark pockets of shadows, That's really our work, because God is here. God has been here. God could never leave. It's literally nothing new under the sun. As it is now and forever, it's always been. This is eternity. Time is completely a construct, as well as even space. These are constructs. God is eternal. God is within you always. Always. And again, God wants to give you, I promise you, whatever God means to you. It's just a word, it's just a word. This isn't about religion at all. This is just about reality at this point. This whole matrix is going to fall. This is what's real, is God within you, that wants to freely give you everything you need to be the highest being of light you possibly can be. God wants to give you everything, always. This is the nature of higher dimensions. It just is. This love just is. It's not like it is in this lower dimension where you have all this good and evil that are constantly battling. On higher levels, the highest level of God and your source and your creator wants to that's its energy. It wants to freely, lovingly, mercifully just give you everything. It wants to give you millions of dollars. It wants to give you a family. It wants to give you happiness. It wants to give you an inspiring career, all of these things that we want in our heart. God wants for you as well. God knows you. God knows what you want more than you do. God knows how you feel. God knows everything. So beautiful. I love it. I love you so much. Thanks for listening. I hope this was beneficial to all of you. And God bless. God bless all of you. I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to say. December 12th, December 21st, very, very, very powerful days of light. Look into it if you don't know already. And there is going to be a mass meditation on both of those days that you probably don't want to miss. It's going to be really awesome. It's going to be truly powerful and historical. So again, I love you all. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. God bless.